Okay, so first we'll have the setup, and I'll go through the video with you. So I'll do the setup first, a little bit of talk about that before I start the video, and then I'll just try and talk my way through this video. So the video is approximately 11 minutes long, but the painting took me 30 minutes to do. So you'll see me up till about the 11-minute stage, which is basically the people that I've got. I've got the people placed, I've got the drawing in, I've got all that background stuff. It took me around another 20 minutes, 15 minutes to paint in the background with a big brush. But, you know, it took a little bit of organization at the end. And then at the end, of course, you'll see the finished painting. So I'll just try and talk you through it, and hopefully this will explain a little better for you as how I sort of approach this type of painting. All right, so we'll start the video, and here we go. So the first thing, this is just my palette. So I'm basically what they call the piano instructor guy. So my palette is my piano. Everything's always in the same place. I have my monitor. I paint off a monitor. So there's a monitor, and there's the drawing of the painting. Here's my setup: easel, monitor, and the palette that's off to my left right now. And away we go. So I'm going to start with the center of interest, and I'm going to block the people in. So I'm going to block in all my darks first with the people. So, and you'll notice I am putting a little bit more color than is in the photo. The photo, I see some color, but I'm going to place a little bit more color on the people as they're the center of interest. So I want them to pop out a little bit. So we'll just start placing the people. I try to join my darks together and keep my darks connected if I can. Lights can be spotty, and you can have little patches of light all over, but anytime you can connect your dark, you're going to get a little bit more unity in your painting. So I always try and make a couple people touch or make the shadows touch so that all the darks get a little bit connected. So I'm a big carrot person, so that means I just paint sort of a big triangle like a carrot, and I put a dot on top of it. So almost like a giant exclamation mark, really. So, and again, I'm just blocking in the darks and blocking in the shape and the gesture that I can. And you'll notice I don't do much more than 3 brush marks with my brush. So 1, 2, 3, back to the paint. I'll do 1, 2, 3. I'll flip the brush over sometimes and make a couple more marks, but usually no more than that. And I'm always back to the paint, and I'm trying to keep the paint fresh. I always try to keep lots of paint on the palette too. If you got scrubby paint, if you can see through your paint and you can see the color of the palette through your paint, you don't have enough paint on your palette. So I'm always keeping a load of paint on there. Unfortunately, the camera for this video on the palette didn't work, or I'd explain a little bit about that, but hopefully in future videos we will be able to show you that too. So I just had a little glitch with my computer, and the USB wouldn't hook up for the other camera, so you didn't get the palette. Anyways, we're painting away here, and we're putting the dark shadows in on the arm and a little bit of light on the arm. I'm just trying to establish the figures for themselves as they are the primary center of interest. Block in the person, block in the general shape of the motorbike. I'm just trying to get that sort of angly shape and the tilt, the gesture or the tilt of the motorbike. If you get it in there, it'll add some dimension to the painting because it's something a little more mechanical. So she's cooking, 2 people are waiting for tacos. The bike lady, she just pulled up and goes, "Oh yeah, tacos. I should have tacos for lunch today." So get the arm in shadow. Get the other arm placed. There you go. You got someone already on a motorbike. Look at that. Ooh, that's exciting. And then you put the highlight side on. And remember, no less than 70-30. 70, in this case, 70% shadow, 30% light. Or even on some of them, 80% shadow and 20% light. You don't want to do 50-50 or it gets boring. So you're either all about the light and a little shadow, or you're all about the shadow and a little bit of light. Look at the little red tail light on the bike. Ooh, that's special. All right, so I'm about 4 minutes in. So 3.5 figures took me 4 minutes, and we're rolling along here. These little gaps when you don't see me, I'm probably mixing up another color. I'm not sure where I'm going here because I don't remember, because I painted this yesterday and now I'm doing the video. I had to download the video, edit the video, and now I'm watching it going, I don't remember what I did. I already painted a boat painting this morning that was completely different, and I did a video, but you're never going to see it because it was a barfy boat. Anyways, put some highlights on the motorbike and just get the gesture and the general shapes of the lights and darks. And those lights on that motorbike are probably too light, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure I'll go back and dull them down, but it's giving me the shape that I need on the motorbike. A little face going on there. You got to have a face. You can't eat tacos without a face. Pretty hard. And then a little background stuff. Oh, wait, no, we got to... I don't know what the deal there was. I started with some background, and all of a sudden I decided, oh, no, I need to fix her. Anyways, we need a little background around her. A little taco lady making tacos. Get the shadow color on the wall. A little bit of color. I'm using probably a number... That's probably a number 8 brush. That's about an 8, and I'm on a 12 by 16 canvas. Well, that looks like a number 6 there. So maybe for those little marks in between, I'm on a 6. But this painting is 9 by 12. It's kind of fun. I've never watched myself paint before. It's kind of fun. Get that wall color going on. That's probably the shadow that's created by the eaves. She's hiding under the eaves. Everyone hides in Mexico. You got to hide. That sun is blistering hot all the time. So everybody's under umbrellas. Everybody's under the eaves. Everybody's looking for shade. Shade is a commodity in Mexico. There's something I probably don't normally do is I'm painting the underside of that eaves with a bit of light bouncing up into it. And yet I do not have the wall color established. So that seems a little backwards to me for what I'd normally do. But sometimes in the painting process, you just go with the flow. As I've talked about before, the egg salad sandwich method, being the bottom bread, was all the drawing and the thinking and the correcting and fixing the photo and making something that's going to work. This is the mushy egg salad part. There's no thinking involved. So I know what the rules are, but sometimes just stuff happens when you're painting. So I look at that and go, well, normally I wouldn't do it that way, but in this case, I don't know what's going on. If you're thinking, you're stinking. So you'll see at the end of this, then you'll see the end result of the painting. So the end result of the painting is about another 10 or 15 minutes of painting after the video quits. And then there's probably 4 minutes of top bread, which is a more thinking and tweaking and touching. I might have touched up a few things or shrunk a few things after having a look at it. But anyways, establishing some lights and darks. Not getting too funky with anything. Where are we at here? I'm 8 minutes into the painting and I'm about halfway finished. Now I call this halfway because I know there's more to do, but all that background stuff, you're going to be using a number 12 brush, and it's big and crazy, and you can just smack the paint around. So I'm keeping it really light against the dark and that wall, and I want the light to be saturated in some places so that it feels like a lot of lights bouncing around. A little bit of color going on behind them. You'd be amazed for how dirty Mexico is, and it's definitely a third world country, and how many buildings are falling apart and how much garbage there is all over the place. You'd still be amazed at how much color there is. They love color. They paint their buildings with a lot of color. They wear a lot of color. They dress very nicely. It's odd. They're very, very clean people. Their houses are clean. They dress clean. They act clean, and yet the streets are full of garbage and tires, and they just don't have sanitation there. They've never set up garbage dumps and garbage pickups, so nobody knows what to do with all the garbage. Yet they themselves are fairly clean people. It's kind of a weird, I don't know what you'd call it, a dichotomy, they're schizophrenic. I don't know. It's probably not the right word, but anyways, they gotta clean up their act, but not themselves. They all do laundry. You get this building and the building's falling apart and none of the paint's on there and there's garbage in the yard. And here's this laundry lines, 3 of them with all these beautiful, luscious clothes, and they're always doing their laundry and they're always out sweeping stuff. The roads are paved on the main streets, but all the back roads are all full of dirt and there's dust and dirt everywhere. So it's a very dusty place, but they're always sweeping. They're always out sweeping and cleaning. All right, so we're getting close to the end of the video here. I should stop this. I'm gonna, maybe I can't do that. But I want you to look into that patch of stuff just next to where the pole is that I'm painting. All that purple right there where I'm putting that in. Look at the purple. I put a lot of green inside of there that's in the same value. If you squint at that, it's the same value, but that's adding interest to that back building. And I'm starting to outline, and I'm putting that back building in because I want to get the value right, so I know how bright I can go on my umbrellas if I put the umbrella that's in there in. So now I'm putting the exit in, the little bit of the sky. I'm going to paint it in so I get my background or what they call the exit point. So I'll get a little bit of that in there. And there you go. So I don't know, that was the end of the video. I didn't have any more, but this at the end right here, that's sort of the finished product. So that's 30 minutes. So I painted all of that in about 30 minutes, and you can see all the colors that are in there. Now, if I was to not do this as a demo, I would probably take about a little under an hour to paint this, and I'd clean it up a little bit and fix a few things. But as a little demo painting, or if this was plein air, I'd be very happy with it. Outdoors, I'd be super, super happy. So anyways, there's your redo on the demo painting. I hope you enjoyed it. Text me if you have any issues, problems, questions, queries, or you need my address to send me vodka. Thanks.